One thing I like to do before working out is go back and watch old clips of the different lifts that I have performed, and just to monitor technique and see where I can improve and see how consistent I am with using the technique. And usually I do this during the time where I'm drinking the pre-workout or energy drink, or just right before warming up. So this is really old footage, and this was back when I think I was weighing 170-ish, and this was deload. I noticed how my hips don't shoot up during this deadlift, whereas later on I notice it does shoot up. This is later on when I'm like 155 or so pounds, 160, 155 pounds. I notice my hips start to rise first, then I do the movement. So I'm trying to improve that going forward. Just as I was getting the hang of doing the front squat using the true front rock position, my shoulders started to feel a little bit strained, and there's a little bit of crepitus in that joint, and it hasn't felt the same. So putting front squats on hold and doing some shoulder rehab just to try to speed up the recovery. Use the weight, let it hang. These are called pendulums, and just kind of circumduct around the shoulder joint. Using the weight to loosen up the shoulder, it causes a little bit of traction when it's hanging straight down. Gravity's pulling down on the weight, and it's kind of loosening things up. I just go clockwise, counterclockwise, just a few times. I'm going to use this rod as an assistive tool to facilitate range of motion, using one arm to facilitate range of motion in the other arm. This next one is the sleeper stretch. It works on the internal rotation of the shoulder, and it's trying to loosen up the rotator cuff muscles, which externally rotate and internally rotate the shoulder and assist with raising the shoulder up. Next is some internal rotation exercises using the weight as resistance. That last exercise also stretched the external rotators as well. The next one is an external rotation exercise using the weight as resistance. Here's an update on the current workout routine. I've switched from doing a squat day, a bench day, a deadlift day, and an overhead press day a la Wendler's 5-3-1 style over to doing the big three squat, bench, deadlift on the same day, and increasing the frequency to that same big three 3 times a week. And then 2 other workouts during the week will be just the remaining accessory movements that I like, any sort of prehab, rehab exercises, any sort of just bodybuilding work, or just maintenance lifts or accessory lifts to help increase the big three. And those will be just split up however I wish to do it. Some might be on its own day. For sure I'll have an overhead press day outside of the big three days, and if I want I'll just throw in some extra assistance exercises on the big 3 days. Like, for example, after the big 3, do a row or a different deadlift or a different squat variation, hip thrusts, etc. And I'm gonna just start from a low amount in terms of weight lifted for the big 3 movements, so I can get used to doing all 3 on the same day and not get fatigued. So I'll do a pretty set amount, 3 sets of 5 on squat, 3 sets of 5 on bench, 3 sets of 5 on deadlift, and then do the same thing sometime later in the week, and a third time during the week do the same thing, 3 by 5 for each of the 3 big lifts. And from week to week I'll increase the weight by 5 pounds on each lift. So I'm starting really low, that way I have more room to grow. I'll be able to have a higher ceiling as far as how much I can lift toward the end of the training cycle. And just going to try to keep progressing in the amount I'm lifting and getting used to doing the big 3 on the same day, hoping that the frequency will help me become better at the lifts and build strength. I'm probably going to start ending the diet. Well, I kind of have been ending the diet and trying to reverse diet. It's been about 24 weeks of dieting, and it just shocks me how much time has kind of flown by. It seems like for almost half a year. 52 weeks in a year, half of that is 26. So I'm like almost 26 weeks in a calorie deficit. That's a long time. And it's time to switch gears, try to build strength, and I definitely want to improve my total lift over the course of the next few months, and hopefully this type of training will do the trick. And I'll be pretty flexible with everything else, just big 3 lifts, squat, bench, dead 3 times a week, maintaining that frequency. I'm doing it in that order: squat, bench, then deadlift, increasing 5 pounds each week, kind of like in a linear fashion. I believe that's how starting strength works. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's how the starting strength works. Even though I've been training for like 4+ years, I'm gonna try different things to see if I can get good results from them. So thanks for watching.